Market update here on the first. Going to go over a few different stocks and I'll go over the indexes. Obviously, crazy day with the Fed speaking, leaving rates unchanged, and the market was crazy today. We had SPY down at 500, up to like 510, and then finishing back down at 500. So starting here at Tesla though, the last time I did an update, we were around this area right here. That was on Friday, I think I did an update, or Saturday, one of the two. And we shot up on the news of FSD in China on Monday, and we hit this weekly supply zone up here between 190 and 206. Within that, the daily supply, we hit it exactly, and since then we've been consolidating. I have this labeled as A or 1. I think that this is 5 waves. This is my count right here, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. This right here looks like 5 waves to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pretty clear to see. But then I thought we were bouncing right here for a B wave, and then we got the move down at the end of the day from 185 all the way down here to 179 pretty quickly, and it looks like an impulse move to me. So we're going to find out tomorrow what this is. Are we going to just go straight back up, and this is going to end up making some kind of ABC move up here to 190? This is the new supply zone up here, 190 all the way up to 195. Or are we going to continue down here to this demand zone at 172 and the gap fill at 168? We're still above the 50 and the 20 on the daily time frame. So that's good overall, be bullish about. We have the 200 way up here. So I'm still going to lean towards a bounce back up here to 190, despite what happened at the end of the day. I think that this should be the start of a B wave, unless somehow I miscounted this and this is the full third wave. If that's the case, then maybe we'll come down here to 168 first. But then that would make it a bigger correction. And right here, you can look at the 0.5 fib is right around the gap fill at 165. That's another reason why I feel like this is the end of the A wave, because the 1.61 fib is right around that area. So I kind of feel like the end of the day might have just been a rug pull options kind of thing for the end of the day, and we're going to see a move higher maybe for the next week or so. We might see something like this, and then maybe even like more chop down here, up like that. That's my guess, something up here around this gap fill around 193. And then I'm looking for a move down after that. I'm looking for this gap fill at 168. I just showed you it's a 1.61 fib. And yeah, that seems like the most likely scenario from here. You could get a B wave that comes all the way up here and fills the gap up here at 202, and then we get an expanded flat like that. A lot of different possibilities, but really, I'm just playing between these two ranges. I have calls, I have puts, I have sold puts. I have a lot of different things going on right now, because I'm pretty confident that we're going to go higher after this too. If something changes, I'll let you know, but right now I think that this is A, and I'm looking for at least something up here to the monthly supply zone at some point this summer at 229, but probably the 1.61 fib here at 247. So we don't know yet what this is. Is it A or 1? And then this is going to be B or 2. Zooming out here, this could be, this can still be that diagonal that I talked about in the past, where this can still happen like that. Or we're going to get just a ABC pattern right here, and then we're going to make 5 waves down here like that. So like 250, this was at 300, came down here to 138. We'd probably hit like 100, or probably down here to like 80. So we'll see which pattern plays out, but right now it's pretty simplified in my opinion. you're just playing between these two boxes basically. So that's the reason I have puts. I have some 190 puts for June. In case we do rise up here, I'll just average into them. That's my plan. And I have calls too, and I have sold puts. So that's the way I'm playing it right now. We'll see what happens. And that's Tesla. Let's go over, I'll go ahead and go over SPY, I guess. So I had this drawn up before the meeting. This is what I was expecting. We're in demand right here. I was expecting a bounce up here to 519 over the next like week or 10 days, and we got the move up. It looks great. We're at 508. Everything's going great, and then boom, rug pull down here to 500. So not sure what this is yet. This can still be, if it continues tomorrow, it could still be this. And that would make this a fourth wave and not a W wave. That would make this, I don't think this is going to happen, but it could. I still think that was kind of a fake out at the end of the day to get people bearish again, maybe. So maybe we get something like, this, and then pull back, and then we'll see what happens, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. You have 515 up here to 519. We're in demand, so that is another reason why I thought this bounce would play out. So if I'm right about this, it would be more likely to be a WXY move. Actually, at this point, it can be ABC as well. I'm looking at the timing of this. This is 22nd to the 26th. So 4 days, been 4 days down here. That could have actually been the C wave. That could have been the C wave like that. So we could be looking at 5 waves up here to 515 to 519, and then from there, I'm looking for a sell-off. I'm looking for sell-off potentially down here to 488. So I don't think the correction's finished yet. This does not look like an impulse move to me, so I think that this is likely a B wave. And once we get up here, I'd be looking to buy some more puts for a move potentially down here to 487, and then that should be the end of the correction. So zooming out here a little bit, this would be the overall fourth wave. And then we'd be looking for that fifth wave higher, that who knows how high it'll go. So that's what I'm looking for on SPY. I think we're in the B wave. QQQ is the exact same chart, basically. I have it all drawn up right here. Same thing. Looking for a move up here, potentially to 445. That's a gap fill right there, and then a move back down here to 407 gap fill. So I kind of have it drawn up the exact same. And you can see here, this is the line that I want to cross, and after that we can move up. So I think that's why the market is so tough right now, is because we're probably in a B wave, which makes it really choppy. And then also we're in a fourth wave. So if we're in a fourth wave, it just makes it really hard to trade. Like this was easy. This is kind of hard. This is pretty complicated. But I think that we are in a fourth wave. And we'll see a fifth wave after that. This will completely change though if it does continue tomorrow. If we do continue down here and make a new low, then I'm considering that a fifth wave. And if that happens, then there could be more downside and this count might not be right. We might have to go to a different count. There's another count that I talked about in a past video where this is actually 5 waves. And we're making a second wave down. So like this, and then we would go up after that. So there's a possibility this could turn into a second wave if we do get a big move down from here. But I still think that this is probably a fourth wave. So that's QQQ. Let's go over Microsoft. Microsoft came down here, it held the low after making that big move higher. It's kind of similar to the other ones, QQQ and SPY, in that I want to see it hold 387 tomorrow, and then we can move up. This could potentially be a second wave. But it is also possible that this is a first wave of a fifth wave too. So we get that move down on QQQ. I'd probably be looking for something lower on Microsoft, maybe even down here to 375. Let's see where the 1.61 fib is. Probably would be coming down here to this 370 to 375 area. So if we get the move up, then Microsoft is probably finished right here, the fifth wave, and you're looking at something like this potentially. 429 is a 1.61 fib. Let's just zoom in here a little bit farther and just take a look at this wave. And it's tough to say. This does not look very impulsive to me, though. That looks pretty corrective. So, I mean, based on this, I think we might be still in a fifth wave. But we'll see tomorrow. This can change in an instant. We'll see what happens with the indexes. So fifth wave's here or fifth wave's here. Take your pick. The overall structure of Microsoft, though, is still ABC. So I still think this is almost ready to start going higher, depending on when it finishes. What else we got here? Let's take a look at AMD. AMD made a new low here, and I think that after looking at this on the regular chart versus the log chart, I think that this could potentially be the start of a I think this is 5 waves. Based on the regular chart, this is 5 waves. See here, we hit the third wave, bounce higher. So this is 5 waves down now. We made a new low. It wasn't as obvious, but this needs to hold the 200 DMA. I don't have it on here right now. Okay, 200 DMA is right here at 137. If it loses the 200 DMA, that would not be good. It would go through this weekly demand zone. Lose the 200 DMA, it might be going down to 100. So 5 waves here. I'm expecting a bounce though here soon with the overall market. I think this can retrace to the 0.5 fib, which is back up here at 183. So 183, that would be through the SMA 50 though. Where's the 20 at? The 20 is right here at 160. So we'll see. As long as it holds the 200 DMA, it's in demand. I think we should be bouncing out of here. But it doesn't look good to me anymore. I think this is probably 5 waves. So if you're in this stock, you're probably trying to salvage it on a bounce. You're trying to sell some covered calls or buy some protected puts. Either way, it doesn't look good. It looks very bearish to me. Now let's go over the dollar real quick. So the dollar came down today on Powell's dovishness. And again, we still do not know what this is. The two scenarios are A, B, C like that, or it is A, B, C like that, or like this. I'm sorry. A, B, C like this, or A, B, C like that. Those are the two scenarios I see on the dollar. Either way, I have it coming down here to this demand zone in the 90s. So this structure is definitely a bearish structure. So it just depends on when they want to finish it. Do they want to have a second wave correction? I'd probably say that this one makes more sense. If we're ready to go up soon, then maybe it holds 107.33 and this ends up being a second wave like that. So it really comes down to 107.33. If it holds that, looking at this. If not, you're looking at it farther out. I don't see any scenario where this just keeps on, this goes to new highs. It's too much of a corrective move. And this was an impulse move too, so it needs to have at least a C wave down. So that's $1. So that just tells you right there, should you be buying the dip? You should probably be buying the dip because we're probably going to go much higher. Nvidia. Go over Boeing next. Nvidia, this looks corrective as well. It's the same pattern as SPY and QQQ, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got to move up higher over the next couple of weeks. If it breaks down below, then it's probably WXY. So something like that. I don't know when their earnings are at. They got to be coming up soon. But I would be projecting, if it does go lower, I would be projecting 665 potentially into this demand zone. So again, it's going to end up being something like this, either A, B, and then C maybe down here, probably going down this low either way to at least 718, but you're either going to play it this way or it's going to go down here. Not sure when their earnings are at, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Is this going to break below right now? I still am favoring this scenario up here, going up here. There is a I don't see any good supply zones on the 4-hour or the daily. Gaps, don't see any gaps. Let's go down a little bit farther. I see a one right here at 863, which we were actually at today, the very start of the day. So there's not very many good supply zones up here, and maybe you go to the weekly, maybe there's one. I don't see one on the weekly either. So that will be interesting to see which pattern plays out, but those are the two possibilities I see. I do not see this as a, I don't see this as like an impulse move down. I think you're looking at somewhere in this area either way, and that would be a great buy. So if you bought today, there's a good chance you can get it all the way up here to somewhere in the 900s. Let's go over Apple. They have earnings tomorrow. So Apple sold off a little bit here, right there into supply, sold off onto it, and filled this gap right here. So you have a demand zone right here, so that should be helpful right there. But again, we don't know what this is either. A lot of these are kind of like in the iffy. I wish I could say which one it is. This is either going to be the start of a fifth wave down, depending on earnings, but you have support right here, or it bottomed right here and you're making some kind of corrective move higher. I think that invalidation, though, is right around here at 179.84. Let's look at the moving averages, see where we're at. So you got the 200 up here. You finished below the 20. That's a little bit bearish. So if I was going to say, I would say this is probably going to come down here to this demand zone again. But in my opinion, I still think it's going to come down here to 158 at some point. We still have not filled that gap, and yeah, I think it's going to come down here to 158 because this needs to be 5 waves. I don't see. I guess this could be the 5th wave right here too. 5th wave could be right here. Very similar to Microsoft, I guess. So 5th wave's right here, or we're about to start the 5th wave and come down here. So that, or the 5th wave is right here, and it's going to come down here and move higher into earnings. So I don't know which one's going to play out on that one either, but those are your scenarios. Look for a demand between 168 and 164. Boeing, I said I'd go over Boeing. So Boeing is still possible that this is in a 4th wave. I had it all drawn up here. It did have a nice move, and no, actually it might have, no, it did not invalidate the 4th wave. So right here was invalidation at 177.61. Came up here to 174 with a nice move. This can still be a 4th wave as long as it does not break here. Potentially a move down here still to 150. I played this last week, but I sold way too early. I think I sold at like 167 or 168. So really, I'm just watching 177.48. And if that doesn't break, I think it's still possible for this to come down here to 150. And 150 is that monthly demand zone that I've been talking about. That's where you really want to buy. If we zoom in here a little bit farther, let's just take a look at this wave and see what it looks like. I mean, it almost certainly, it does look kind of like a impulse move, but this could easily be some kind of ABC move as well. And you can see it kind of finishes right around the 1.61 fib, and then you get this big move down. This holds the high. So Boeing could easily just be coming down here over the next month or so down to 150. On the moving averages, you got let's see if it's above the 20. And it finished below the 20 as well. That is definitely bearish. So that is not good. It's below all the moving averages again. So I would be pretty bearish on Boeing. And we'll see what happens. But 150 would be my target if it does sell off and break this low at 159. I'd be buying pretty big there though, because again, I showed you in one of the videos in the past, this is 5 waves. So you're looking at a bounce back to at least 200 after it bottoms here at 150. So maybe I'll be wrong and it'll break 177 tomorrow or next couple of days. That would invalidate the move and that would put in a bottom. So that's it for Boeing. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we thought we bottomed right here, and it came up here and broke the low. So this kind of looks like 5 waves to me. So this is probably, I gotta go on the daily. You can't even do the 2-hour on this. Yeah, I think this is 5 waves. So I think that this is ready to go as well. So 1.61 fib is down here at 53,000. So it's possible that it comes down lower, but you can see 5 waves here. So let's look in here on the 2-hour now and just get rid of these moving averages and see where we're at on this final wave. 3, 4. I think this is a 4th wave. I think there's probably going to be one more move down. So if there's one more move down, potentially 53, this is the demand zone right here. And the 1.61 fib of the A wave is at, again, 53,000. So if it goes to 53,000, it's still completely fine if we zoom out here on the daily. So 1, 2, 3, big fourth wave, and then fifth wave is what I'm looking for. So ABC is completely fine. This is taking a little bit longer than that second wave, but I'm still looking for 100,000 after this bottoms. Here potentially at 53,000. Amazon, really haven't been following this one enough to really give you a good count on it. So I'm not going to go over it right now. What else we got here? Neo really is popping. And I had this drawn up. I actually sold some of my position. I bought down in here, sold some of it, and it really, really popped. These are the supply zones. Went through both of them. So your next supply zone is up here at 591. It has a 200 way up here at 785. Let's see where the 50 is at. It's above the 50 too. I would say this is going to 591. Almost certainly going to 591 and potentially higher. But I would say it probably will get held up right here. So yeah, I'm looking for 591 on Neo. And then maybe a pullback after that. But nice move today, finally, for people holding that stock. I wish I don't have this charted. I would go over it. Super microcomputer. I would not. I'll do that another time. Donald Trump stock has been popping. Take a look at that real quick. It bottomed off the. I made a video and I said it was going to bottom around 20 to 25. That was a 200 DMA. And I'm pretty sure it hit it exactly. It went a little bit below it. And then shoots up immediately and doubles. That's crazy. I think that's pretty much it. I'm just going over random stocks now at this point. Let me know in the comments if you have any stocks you want me to go over. I'll go over IWM for the last stock of the day. IWM. So I would think this needs to be 5 waves for the final move down. It looks to me like, so it bounced out of demand. This might have already bottomed. It either already bottomed or this is a funky fourth wave and you're going to see more downside. I did say in past videos that I was looking for this to last into mid-May. So it's possible that this is, no, it's not possible. It's not possible that this is a first wave of the C leg. So let's just draw a parallel line here and see. Kind of curious if this hit the bottom. Went a little bit past it. This could have already bottomed as well, and it had a nice pop today. It ended up positive. We're going to see tomorrow, but I think that there's a very good chance that this is done. And we're going to see a drop in the dollar. We're going to see growth stocks start moving higher here soon. But you might see one more move lower. There is a demand zone right here. But you're not going to make it down here. This is not going to happen. 169 is not happening. I don't see any more gaps. You have a gap fill up here at 204. So I'm leaning towards the upside on this. And if there's downside, okay, maybe it comes down here to like 187. But it's pure upside from here. I'm not really scared about this going anywhere lower than like 180. And I still think that this can go all the way up to... Here's the thing about IWM though. I think that this is the B leg, and I'm looking for a C leg. Let me zoom out in the monthly. So I think this is a B leg. I'm not sure how much longer this is going to last, but this is definitely 5 waves from 2000 all the way up to 2021. That was definitely 5 waves unless you get an extension. So if you get an extension, then it's possible it can go higher like this. But either way, I think we're in a B wave. So A, and then within this we have A, B, potentially C. I think this might be a 4th wave of the overall 5th wave of the C leg of the overall B leg. So I think this can potentially go up here to maybe 220, 230. And then I think we're going to see something like this down. But it could extend too and go much higher than that. It's just right now I think we're in a fourth wave right here. Or some kind of B leg as well. So this lasted 2 months, and this has lasted like 4 months. So that does kind of make me think that this is some kind of ABC move. Like that. It's just kind of confusing though, because this should be an ABC move right here. A, B, and this should be a C leg right here. This was an impulse move. This was a corrective move. I would expect, you know what? This is probably a second leg or second wave then. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because this was impulsive. This has got to be impulsive. The only thing is, I would say normally this wouldn't go past the 1.61 fib. So if this is a second leg right here, a second wave, we basically hit the 0.5 fib. Then I'm looking for the 1.61 fib of this. It's right around 232. So 232 maybe, and then maybe this too. Maybe like 250, 260. But after that, we're collapsing. And we're going to go down pretty far. I think we can go all the way down to we can go all the way back to $132 potentially. So short term bullish on IWM, dollar I'm bearish on, so that should help out IWM rates. Yield should come down as well. And this is a long video, so I'm going to end it there. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about anything. And I'll try to do another update here soon, maybe tomorrow, depending on the market. We do have Apple earnings tomorrow, so good luck trading, and I will talk to you soon.